Sorry, no real intro, guys. Just a journey. Hey y'all, it's me, your girl Tiff, back with another vlog. I wasn't going to do this today because I'm going through a lot, and this isn't about just me this time. But I'm doing another vlog. I'm in the airport right now. I'm headed to LA. I'm trying to talk my daughter into coming back home with me. And this is probably one of the hardest things that I have ever had to do. Of course, I walk past the music. Hope they don't. I'll repeat this in case they cut that. But this is one of the hardest things I have ever had to do. I was just in the lift here, crying the whole way. I'm by myself. No one else could make the trip.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
No one else had the money to do it, and I just thank God that I had it. Because 2 years from now ago, I wouldn't have. And that right there alone is another testament. Sorry. That is another testament to what God is doing in my life. And He's taking me through a rough patch right in the middle of it. And I know that it's because I can do greater things. And now I wasn't going to vlog, I told you guys. I was keeping this personal. But I've been convicted. And God has placed it on my heart. Because I know I'm not the only one who's going through something like this. And if I'm not anything else, I am real. And I want you guys to know how real life is sometimes. And how bad things happen, but you just keep moving. You yell plot twist. And you keep it going. When I realized that I had to go to LA to try to talk her home, I yelled plot twist. And I'm here. I'm here. And you guys are going to be here with me. So I'm here in LA. And I know I was like rambling earlier. I didn't even explain what was going on. But my daughter came out to LA because she convinced herself that things would be different for her here. And she's got some mental issues, and she's out of money, and I just want to get her help. So I got to get her back home. I'm outside the hotel. The restaurant I was going to go to is closed. I got to find some food. Talk to y'all later. Today I have to leave my mentally ill daughter in another city on the complete other side of the country from where her family is. And I have to do this with the understanding that I did everything that I could do, and that I did nothing wrong, and I did not create her illness. And I'm only making this video because if I'm feeling this way right now, I know for a fact that there's somebody else out there who needs to hear this too. You did nothing wrong. This is their journey, just like this is her journey. You are still a good parent, even when your children have issues. You are. I'm back. I've been back since, let's say, late Saturday night. It's Monday. I did tell you guys I was going to vlog the whole time, and I popped in and out, but it just was hard. Two reasons why. One, because y'all know me, and I've already been struggling. Once again, you'll probably see this footage before you'll see this vlog, before you'll see any other vlog from me. Because I don't know. I just struggle. I'm struggling. I'm trying to be obedient because I know this is what I'm supposed to do, but I'm struggling. So just letting you guys know that. So that's one reason why, and any other reason why is just because it was just a hard situation. My daughter, I'm not going to name any names because this is her journey and her story. So if y'all know her, y'all know her. If y'all don't know her, y'all don't know her. You know, we're going to leave it at that. Matter of fact, this is the second time that I started this particular video because I forgot and started saying her name, and I promised that I wouldn't do that. But in May, right before Mother's Day, even though she was struggling mentally, she decided to move to California. At that point in time, she had a plan. She had an Airbnb for 2 weeks. She was planning on finding a job as a server, which is something she's very good at, and something that I trust she could smooth anybody into giving her a job doing. So, of course, I told her I didn't want her to go. Of course, I told her I didn't think she should go. But she's 23 and she could do whatever she wanted to do. And so she left. But there was this part of me who wanted to hold on to all kinds of hope that she could make it, because I'm remembering the daughter that I raised. Not the daughter with the mental issues, the undiagnosed mental issues at that. Not her. I'm remembering the daughter I raised, who can do anything. You know, so she says, with or without any money, she's going to LA and she is going to make it, then she's going to LA and she's going to make it. Although I hated the idea. But unfortunately, she got out to LA and her mental condition got worse and worse. And it began to deteriorate to a point where she met someone out there who agreed to help her. But it got so bad that he couldn't handle it. And she was faced with being about to be homeless. And she really needed to get help. So I flew out to try to talk her into coming back home. And she refused. It was a lot of crazy talk, I'm not going to call it crazy. It was a lot of things that she was speaking in her head, that she was saying and believing in her head, that were nowhere near true. And she was a bit volatile. She threatened me. She's threatened her own life. It really got really, really bad. So on Friday, knowing that I had to leave on Saturday, I called 911 and I tried to get her 302. They came out and got her, and they placed her on the 72-hour hold. I took her clothes and everything, and I brought them back home with me. And praying that she'll reach out to me for a plane ticket to get home. I just wanted to get her home. I'm beyond all the things that it's my fault, you know. relationship with her had been strained for a while now. And I blamed myself so much. I blamed every single mistake that I've ever made as a parent on why, our relationship was estranged. And even more so when her mental state began to decline, I beat myself up over it. If I hadn't did this, I shouldn't have did that. Well, what about this? Well, that shouldn't have happened. I should have did more of this. I should have did more of that. I should have paid more attention. I should have. And I should have myself to death. And people were telling me, I don't think she's going to come back with you. Like, why are you going? Like, honestly, I'm going to be real with y'all. I did not have the money for a trip from Philly to California for a couple of days. Like, I really didn't have it. And I had to do it. And no matter how many people questioned that, and like, you really can't afford to do this. You know, how are you going to do this? It didn't matter because I had to try. And one of the biggest reasons, not only because she's my daughter, but because I was riddled with guilt over things that I really, truly couldn't control. Things that I did not do. I was a parent. You don't get there's no set in stone perfect parent book that you get when you find out that you're pregnant. You know what I mean? And you make mistakes, and there's things that you do, but what your children do, you have no control over. And I couldn't see that because of my own mental state. I've lived with severe depression for most of my life. Not most of my life. I've lived with severe depression for all of my life. And I felt, once I started getting better, I felt so guilty about what I deprived my children of while I was depressed. And that was the perfect example for me to beat myself up over everything that my daughter is going through. And I did. So no matter what anybody says, whether I really thought, because deep down inside, I didn't think she was going to come home with me. And the more and more as the trip went by, I started realizing that she can't come home with me at the current state that she's in. I would never have been able to safely get her on a plane. I would never. And then once on the plane, I don't know if her behavior would change, if there would end up being a problem. And then I had layovers to deal with, and I would have had to have gotten her through the layovers and been a timely, moment, not knowing where her mental state was going to be at any point in time. Like she would have been a ticking time bomb situation. I didn't want to believe this when I went on the trip, but as time went on and on and on while I was there, and I'm looking at her and I'm watching my beautiful daughter just fumble and fall apart, I knew more and more that this fairy tale of how this was going to end, this dream of going out there begging her to come home, her saying, I don't have anything else, I have no other choice, let's go home, Mom. That whole dream of that began to crumble and crumble in front of my eyes. And I did not want to leave my daughter in the other side of the country, but I had to come back home. I had to come back home, or else if she did get herself together, neither one of us would have a place to live. Like, I had to come back home. I didn't have the money to stay out there. I didn't have the resource to stay out there. I didn't even have the support to stay out there. And chase her all over the city trying to get her back to Philadelphia. And I had to make the decision for both of us to leave her there at the hospital and come home and pray that at the end of 72 hours that she didn't just walk away, and then she stayed, and that she got the help that she needed. She reached out to me today. She just wants her stuff. I don't know why you thought I was going to come back home. I'm never coming back there. I didn't tell you I was going to. I don't know why you took my stuff. You could just ship it back to me. And I had to tell her no. And the last thing she said, and I do believe I'm blocked now, but the last thing she said to me was, fine, keep it. That was about an hour ago. I mean, I don't know what time it is in your time, but from when I'm making this video, that was about an hour ago. My life is completely about trusting in God at this time. 2 years ago, when I lost my job, and I sat down with my father and said, look, for years you've been trying to guide me on what to do, and I've been trying to do what I want to do, and obviously I don't know what I'm doing. I'm handing this over to you now. It's on you. It's about 2.5 years. It's been 3 years that I have been walking completely by faith and dependent on him as he rebuilds me to the woman that he wants me to be. And up until then to now, if I put everything on paper, it would not make sense to nobody. How the hell did you do that? And that's what they would be saying. And my answer every time would be, I finally gave in and set it all in God's hands. And I decided to listen to him and to do whatever he tells me to do. And that's how I've been making it. Because as long as I'm listening to him, he's been taking care of me. I'm so sorry. As long as he been listening and taking care of it. And before I left California, I had to say, okay, God, there's nothing else I can do. And I put it back into his hands. Well, it was always in his hands. I just had to let it go of it out of my hands, where I'm like it's like a tug of war. And I could see God probably saying, girl, if you don't let that fucking rope go, like, you know, like, yes, my God cusses me out. He cusses me out. But I did it, and I let go. And I'm letting go, because this is hard. Just that last message that I sent to her, she messaged me back, and she said, look, don't send me the ticket. If you want us to do something for me, then send me the money. And me telling her, no, you got to come home. It's a ticket or nothing. And I'm waiting until you come, until you take it. It was hard. It's going to be hard to stand by it. It's going to be hard. But yeah. If you feel a bump in the road, just yell plot twist, baby. 'Cause real queens can't be broken, darling. Love you all. The show must go on. And all I can do now is continue my walk. Asking my Father to continue to strengthen me through this entire situation, this entire battle. Making sure my faith is like up here. so that I can keep moving and I can keep doing the things that I need to do to be the woman that God wants me to be, and the woman that my daughter needs me to be when she's ready for that help that I'm offering her. So I'll get back on my grind, yo. I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta keep it moving, and wow. Yeah. I got a business to run, an empire to build, dolls to make, paintings to paint, stories to write. Maybe one day I'll even be, okay enough to write this one. I don't know about that. But life has to continue. It can't stop at a standstill. I'm here for my daughter when she's ready. And with it in God's hands, eventually she will be ready. Eventually she'll be ready. All right, guys, so that is it. I hope, like I said all along, I did this because somebody else needed this. Somebody else is going through. And I want you to know that if you are going through the same thing that I'm going through, like, it's not your fault. You can't dwell on mistakes that you made as a parent. You're human. It's their journey. It's their life. And I was getting ready to say letting go is hard, but you can't look at it as letting go, because you're not letting go. You still love that person, whether it's your daughter, your son, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your cousin, your Uncle Jasper twice removed, on your Aunt Betty's side. Like, it doesn't matter. You're not letting go. You're letting God. You're letting them experience their journey, no matter what their journey is. Even if this could even be things that if we will cringe to know what might happen. I hate to even think about it, but it's still their journey. It's not your fault. You just gotta kind of love them from a distance. And there's going to be times when even everything that I'm saying right now, everything that I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a test for me too. Because this is new. This is new to me. So it's all going to be a test to me too. So if y'all want to link together and support each other on this, like, yo, hit your sister up. It's your girl Tiff. And I'm here for you. I'm here for you. God's here for you. And I'm going to keep on telling stories and sharing my life so that y'all can see the work unfold. And you know that you can make it through this too. We will continue to survive. My baby is a survivor. I'll check y'all again on the next vlog. I love you all to life. Peace. I'm out.